Hello, today is July 13th, 2020. Interesting day in the market today. We had a really big reversal, and so I wanted to post on those levels and show a video here on Bookmap. Just a recap of the day, not only for subscribers, but for people interested in subscribing, just to see the power of some of these levels and find out, why they're so interesting. So for those of you that are new, these levels are calculated off of the S&P 500 index and the spider options. So we take all of the open interest of those two products, the SPX and the SPY, and we create these key options levels where we think options dealers and or options traders will start to get active in hedging their underlying, and that can create support and resistance lines, and then what we also call this volatility trigger. And so if you look at how the day traded today, we had 3,200 in our morning note as a very big level. What we call that is a high gamma strike, and what that basically means is that is what we usually see as the top of the market. And you can see, and this is our morning note here. These are our levels lined up. So you can see this high gamma strike is 3,200, and generally we see that as a top in the market. And then what we like to see is the market hit that level, and then for this level to change up higher tomorrow as a bull sign. And so the futures market actually opened over this 3,200 level. So that's 3,200 in the SPX, so you have to adjust this by about 10 points for the futures. So 3,190 would be the equivalent in futures. So you can see here that 3,190 level is in Bookmap for the ES future, and so the market opened over that level, and it tested 3,200, and then it kind of was off to the races. And it was a little bit disappointing for us because we mark this level as a 3,200 at a high gamma strike again as a resistance line, and the market very rarely breaks through. I think if you look back over the last 3 or 4 years, it's only breached it, maybe 40 times out of let's say I don't think it's 600 or 700 trading days. So it's not often that the market goes through that level, and anytime it does, we honestly don't feel too great about things because it violates sort of our model, and we get a little bit of egg on our face. But anyways, what you see today, what happened was quite interesting, is we accelerated over that. We had many stocks like Tesla was a very strange stock today, went from 1,500 to 1,750. We calculated the FANG index was up 2% today at one point. And then we hit this combo level, 32.36. This is a very common, these combo levels, they change every day, and it's a very common support and resistance zone in the SPX, and we try to document this on our website often. But basically what this combo level is our SPX and SPY, and we merge those in a proprietary way, and that's our support and resistance zone. And so as you can see, the market went straight up, it tagged that level almost to the tick, and then we started to break down. And once we broke down, we again tested that 3,200 level. So you could say, okay, well, that's a big round number. That's fine. Should be some support and resistance there. We bounced. But then we hit this very interesting level. We had some bad news today. But this is what we call the volatility trigger. And again, these notes come out around 7:30 in the morning with these key levels. We actually piped the levels through a link through the Cloud Notes system. They go out into the Bookmap trading software, so you don't have to manually write these levels in. They're updated automatically every day. And so what this volatility trigger is, for those of you who know a little bit about market gamma and the concept of positive and negative gamma, we have this idea of the volatility trigger, and it's the level that our model picks up for which dealers would flip from positive to negative gamma. And so what the idea is that the market should have support as long as we're above the volatility trigger level. So it's a buy the dip, sell the rip type market as long as we're above this volatility trigger area. And if we should break that level, that would indicate a setup for a very large move down. And that's just what happened today. So what's interesting to me about this is that you can say 3,200 is just a round number. There should be a lot of people focused on that, and I'd say fine. But this 3,185 that's a futures price. The ES price is 3,185. There was liquidity here, as you could see through this shaded lighter shaded color. There was somebody had liquidity posted at this level all day long, and then once we trade at it, that liquidity goes away. But what's also interesting is that we break it initially, and then we retest that level again almost to the tick, 3186, and on that retest we fail. And once we have that fail, then you can ascertain that there's going to be a pretty kind of a big move lower, and that's exactly what we got. Now, obviously, it doesn't happen every single time like this. A lot of times, the volatility trigger level is a support zone or resistance level, and But what we tell our subscribers is, look, if this level breaks, expect a big move. And that's exactly what happened. We traded immediately down to 3150, which is our support level here. That's to the T, the level that we mentioned in the notes. You can see here the top size of strikes for today were 3200, 3150, and 3100. So this is telling you there's a lot of open interest here. These should be support and resistance zones. Sorry, I didn't highlight 3150 for today, but that's the 3150. And so, we do our best to not put out too many levels, right? Because you could say, well, these guys are putting out levels at every 5 or 10 strikes, and as soon as one gets hit, they wave the flag. But you can see at basically every level we put out, there was a significant move in the market. There's a change in movement here. There's a change at 3210. We were pinned, at that area for much of the day. This is 3220 in the SPX. And then, we tag to the tick this high in the combo level, and then we'll come down. And these combo strikes show up all the time as support and resistance zones. So it doesn't really matter what your strategy is, what type of trader you are, what your time frame is. I think these levels can be very valuable for you, and they can really help out on various strategies, various time frames. And so if you have any questions, please send us an email at sg@spotgamma.com, or we are at SpotGamma on Twitter. Thanks.